Hi, this is Elari Onawa, and today I want to talk to you about perfectionism and the law of attraction. So, I've noticed in the 20 years that I've been coaching clients on their spiritual journey and creating what they really want in life that a lot of people get stuck with the law of attraction in that they have such a high standard or a standard of perfection that it sometimes stops them from being able to attract what they really want. And I'm going to talk to you about that today. So if you have a tendency toward perfectionism, in other words, you are hard on yourself, okay? If you beat yourself up, if you're hard on yourself, if you're not kind to yourself, if you talk negatively about yourself, that is telling you that you have some ideas about being perfect that are not helping you, okay? They're not helping you. If you feel bad, if you're beating yourself up, if you're procrastinating because you don't want to get it wrong, all of those are signals that you have some ideas around being perfect that are not helpful. So we're going to address the perfectionism first. Then we'll talk about law of attraction. So when we do that, when we're hard on ourselves, we're basically emitting the vibration and the expectation that somehow we're wrong or that we're not good enough. That is where that idea and that vibration of not good enough comes from. So we want to recognize that there is a spiritual truth here, which says that you are already whole, complete, and perfect. So why is that? So how do you let your mental level catch up with that reality? Because that is the absolute truth. So just settle into the feeling of I am already whole, complete, and perfect. No matter what happens outside of me, I'm already whole, complete, and perfect. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter what my life situations are. I am whole, complete, and perfect. I'm also adored and loved. The universe is for me. So what that means is you are here to play in the sandbox of time and space, to have fun, to explore, okay, to explore different ideas, different ways of being, different experiences. So you're here to explore, and you're also here then to choose. What do I want to create? You're here to be a creator. So you're here to explore, so to notice the contrast, to notice the variety, and you're also here to create, to choose what you want to do with this precious life of yours, okay? And that then it's about alignment. It's about choosing and then aligning with having it. We don't start with already whole and complete. Then we tend to use our old grading system programming that is part of our social blueprint to judge ourselves. So if we think something should show up faster, we'll be hard on ourselves. Why hasn't it showed up yet? I might be doing something wrong. We're looking and coming from what's wrong instead of what's right. That's what happens when we don't realize and own that, hey, I am already perfect. Hey, I am already complete. And this is true because as an explorer and creator, you're wired to explore and create. You're wired to get out there and have fun. And you can't have fun and explore and create and be the best version of yourself if you don't know that you're already wired perfectly for what you're here to do. You are already wired to do what you're here to do, which is to have fun, be the best expression of yourself, and to explore and create. If you weren't able to choose what you want, if you weren't able to have what you want, then you wouldn't be a creator. If you weren't curious, then you wouldn't be an explorer. And you're perfect in your ability to receive. You're perfect in your ability to be the best version of you. What gets in the way is thinking that we're somehow wrong. Okay. So, and how does that get introduced? How does that desire to not make a mistake, to be flawless, why is that a problem? Whose standard are we using? If we're using a standard like our grading system, in other words, we're using an external condition to determine whether we're right or good, then that's going to be a problem, okay? Because that's not how you're wired. You are wired to assess how you're doing according to how you feel. So good could be mean eager, delighted, happy, interested. It could be joyful, feeling like, wow, I really love this. It could be a feeling of appreciation. Anything that feels good means you're moving up that vibrational scale. That's your soul telling you that you're on the right path. You're aligning with what you most want to experience next. So that's your guidance system, not the external condition. Your guidance system is how you feel. If you feel a negative emotion like upset, angry, disappointed, frustrated, sad, all of those are telling you that your vantage point, how you're choosing to view the situation that you're looking at, that vantage point isn't helping you. That's your soul saying, turn toward what you want. So a negative emotion always means turn toward an encouraging thought. Turn toward something that uplifts you. Align with what you want, with having the feeling of having what you want. So your guidance system is your emotional system. That's the first system that you have. That's one of the ways, and the most primary way that your soul speaks to you is through your emotions. You're feeling good, your beliefs, your perspective about yourself and the events in your life is helping you. If you're feeling bad, then that doesn't mean the situation is bad or it's not possible. What that means is the way you're looking at it, the way you're framing it, is not helping you. You've bumped up against a threshold, and a threshold is normal. It's just part of growing and evolving, and we grow and evolve through our goals. So when you bump up against a threshold, now it's time to expand and to grow and to allow yourself to have what you want. That's the only thing that's happening here. It doesn't mean you're flawed. It doesn't mean you're imperfect, because you are already perfect, as we discussed, because you're here, because you have the ability to, because you are wired to be a creator and you're going to want to create, okay? Because you're wired to explore and have fun. You're perfectly wired for that. And when you're aligning with fun, when you're aligning with creating and choosing what you want to experience, when you're aligning with joy or any positive emotion, then you're aligned with the truth of your soul. So we want to give up comparing ourselves to others. We want to give up making ourselves wrong. And we want to definitely give up looking for and seeing through the lens of, do I have this right? Is this perfect? I want to instead look through the lens of, how does this idea make me feel? How do I feel about having this desire? How would it look if it showed up in the most perfect feeling way for me? What would that look like? Or what would that feel like? So we want to tune into our own internal guidance system and stop comparing and stop living from things we think we have to do or things that we should do, and instead live from what we want to do, and instead live from our internal guidance system. Okay, so that's perfection. Your spiritual truth, you're already perfectly wired. You have all the parts you need. You have all the abilities that you need to create exactly what you want in life. So your guidance system, your internal guidance system never ever steers you wrong. You always know when you feel good, you are aligned with what you want. How you are looking at something is aligned with how your soul sees it. And the higher up the vibration of the emotion, the closer you are to how your soul sees how your current physical perspective. So the better you feel, the better it gets. That's what that means. Now, the law of attraction says that which is likened to itself is drawn, right? So in other words, whatever you generally focus on, you're nurturing and cultivating. So when you nurture and cultivate having what you want, when you nurture and cultivate the feelings of excitement or enthusiasm, if you frame things in a way that make you feel good, then you're attracting things that feel good to you. If, on the other hand, you're beating yourself up and you're using perfectionism, in other words, you have some standard that you're using that somehow you should never feel a negative emotion, which is not ever going to happen because that's your guidance system. It's not a mistake. There is no mistake when it comes to emotions. They all tell you something positive. So when it comes to the law of attraction, you want to first and foremost, and this is true even if you don't know about the law of attraction, you want to always let go of making yourself wrong. You want to instead nurture self-kindness, nurture, yes, I can. Yes, I can figure this out. Yes, I can have this. I have all the information, that I will ever need. I'll have access to it. Even if I don't know what it is, I will receive it. I'll get it when I need it. I'll get the information when I need it. I have the skills and the abilities because I have the desire. So that is always true. If you have a desire for something, you also have the ability to receive it. 100% of the time, that is true. So your job is to align with having it, to feel and cultivate the feelings of it's already done. I got it, it's done, it's complete, and then play, and then allow yourself to play. So with law of attraction, it's really about bringing in a spirit of playfulness and knowing that you are loved, adored, and supported, that you are already whole, complete, and perfect. Because when you come from knowing that, hey, I'm already wired to create, I'm already wired to feel the emotions, so there's no wrong emotion. If I feel good, that's just telling me, great, I'm going to keep feeding that and feel better and better because I'm attracting what I want. If I don't feel good, okay, got it. An external condition, I have an idea about it that's not helpful. I can let that go and cultivate something positive, something that feels good, something that uplifts and inspires me. Our job is always to manage our own energy, and it's not even a job. I'm going to reframe that word, okay? Because we don't want to make this into a job. The one thing that we have 100% control over is how we feel and how we see the world, because how we see the world determines how we feel about ourselves and the world and the things that we're creating. And you always, always can change that. Nothing outside of you can interfere with that. You have complete control over how you feel and how you see the world. And that's what determines what shows up. There are no missing parts. You have the ability to choose something different. You have the ability to see what you're doing. You have the ability to choose something different. You have the ability to let go of thinking that anybody can affect how you feel. Because the truth is, it's not anyone or anything outside of ourselves that creates how we feel. It is always an inside job. It's always in how we're looking at something. Be kind to yourself and play when you use the law of attraction. Come from already whole and complete, and you're well on your way to mastering the law of attraction. And you're also coming from the spiritual truth that you are indeed whole and complete and perfect as you are. The universe is for you, and you are eternally loved. This is Elari Onawa saying bye for now. I'll see you soon.